At the start of the episode, we see Jin Woo, who is sleeping peacefully. Suddenly, he gets a call from his sister Jin Ah. Upon answering, Jin Ah says, "Did you forget about my guardian meeting today?" Hearing this, Jin Woo quickly gets ready and reaches Jin Ah's school. Jin Ah stares at him because Jin Woo looks quite smart. She thinks to herself, how can someone change so quickly? Meanwhile, all the girls at school are looking at Jin Woo, which makes Jin Ah tease him. In the next scene, we see Jin Woo talking to Jin Ah's teacher. The teacher praises Jin Ah for her studies and asks Jin Woo, if Jin Ah awakens, would you let her become a hunter? Jin Woo immediately declines. The teacher requests Jin Woo to talk to one of Jin Ah's friends. In the following scene, we see Jin Ah's friend, who turns out to be none other than Hana, the teenage girl from Jin Woo's team. Hana is surprised to see Jin Woo. Jin Woo says, "This world is so small. I didn't know the teacher would ask me to talk to you." Hana replies, "I don't know what the teacher told you, but I'm not quitting hunting." Jin Woo says, "You are an E-rank hunter. With this rank, you can't earn much money. The little money you made with us was just luck." Hana says, "Whatever it is, if you've come here to ask me to quit hunting, I won't do it." Jin Woo responds, "I won't ask you to quit hunting, but I want to show you something." In another scene, we see the airport, where Dong-suk's brother Dong-soo has arrived in Korea. He's greeted by Hunter Association member Woo Jin. Dong-soo says, "I didn't know you'd come to pick me up. Is the association keeping an eye on me?" Woo Jin replies, "I'm just doing my job." Dong-soo says, "You know why I'm here. Can your association stop me from avenging myself?" The scene shifts to the Hunter Association leader Go and S-rank hunter Choi, who are discussing something. The leader says, "The ants from Jeju Island can now fly." Choi replies, "Yes. We've found the bodies of a few ants in the ocean. It seems they can't cover long distances yet, but it won't take them long to evolve." The leader says, "We need to act quickly on this." Meanwhile, Jin Woo takes Hana to a dungeon. We learn it is a C-rank dungeon owned by the White Tiger Guild to train their new hunters. Jin Woo talks to their manager and gets permission for him and Hana to enter. An A-rank hunter, Kiso, says, "How long will you keep talking? We need to go." The manager explains, "This is an A-rank hunter and he's responsible for the team. This team includes 1 D-rank, 5 C-rank, and 2 B-rank hunters." The A-rank hunter thinks, "What a headache. Now I have to take care of these E-rankers too." Jin Woo thinks, once Hana sees how dangerous dungeons are, she'll understand. After this, everyone enters the dungeon. Suddenly, Jin Woo senses something, and the C-rank dungeon turns into a red dungeon. Seeing this, Jin Woo quickly grabs Hana and tries to get out of the dungeon, but he can't. The manager informs White Tiger Guild leader Baek Yoon about it. Baek Yoon is shocked to hear about the red dungeon. In the dungeon, everyone was teleported to a snowy area. Kiso says, "This is a red dungeon." Hana asks Jin Woo, "What is a red dungeon?" Jin Woo explains, "Red dungeons appear rarely, but they are very dangerous. A red dungeon can form within any rank of dungeon. Until you defeat the dungeon boss, no one can leave, and no one from the outside can enter." As Jin Woo is explaining this, an arrow comes flying toward Hana, but Jin Woo stops it with his hand. However, one hunter wasn't as lucky and is killed by another arrow. The arrows were thrown by ice elves, who give them a warning before leaving. Seeing this, everyone becomes frightened. Kiso says, "This dungeon is very dangerous, and no one will come to help us from outside. I'm the highest-ranking hunter here, so everyone will follow my orders. But I can't guide everyone, so we'll split into 2 groups. Those who want to come with me, follow me." Everyone joins Kiso's team, but when a D-rank hunter tries to join, Kiso rejects him, saying, "Hunters below C rank will only be a burden to me, so no one below C rank can join my team." At this point, a B-rank hunter named Park leaves Kiso's team and joins Jin Woo. She quietly says to Jin Woo, "Even as an A rank, Kiso didn't notice the arrow, but you not only noticed it, you stopped it with your hand. You can't possibly be an E-rank hunter." Kiso then leaves with his team toward an open field, while Jin Woo leads the remaining group toward the forest. After going some distance, they find traces of ice bears. Kiso thinks, they went into the forest. I doubt they'll survive. Just then, ice bears attack Kiso's team. Kiso easily kills one with his sword. Meanwhile, Jin Woo's team also finds ice bear tracks. Park says, this is ice bear territory. We shouldn't go further. Jin Woo replies, this is ice bear territory, which means our only threat will be the bears, not the elves. If we head to the open field, the elves will easily spot us. Park thinks, Jin Woo is right. There are many ice bears here, so the elves won't come. Jin Woo takes out coats for everyone from his storage. Everyone is shocked because only a high ranker could use the storage. Everyone then wears the coats. Hana asks, who are you, really? Jin Woo places his hand on her head and says, I brought you here, so it's my responsibility to get you out safely. But I want you to promise not to ask me any questions about what I do from now on. Jin Woo says the same to the others. At that moment, ice bears appear, and Jin Woo changes his title and starts defeating the bears with his bare hands. Outside, Baek Yoon arrives to observe the dungeon. He thinks, Kiso might be able to save a few B rankers. The manager tells Baek Yoon about Jin Woo and says, I think he has undergone reawakening, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Dong-soo arrives, looking for Jin Woo. Seeing him, Baek Yoon asks, what are you doing in Korea? Dong-soo ignores him and says, I came here to kill you, but I doubt you'll survive this red dungeon. Woo Jin thinks, Jin Woo, you're lucky. Because of this dungeon, Dong-soo won't kill you. But the question is, will you survive the dungeon? Inside, Jin Woo has single-handedly taken down all the ice bears. Everyone is shocked because ice bears are B-rank beasts. Afterward, they celebrate. Hana says, this bear meat is delicious. Brother, it's so cold here too. I want a party as well. However, Jin Woo doesn't join the party and instead heads to the ice bear's cave. Inside, he finds many more bears. Jin Woo summons his shadow army to attack them. The shadow army fights the bears. Jin Woo thinks, becoming a shadow monarch was worth it. I can fight without using my stamina. Just then, the leader of the ice bears appears and destroys all the shadows with a single roar. Jin Woo's magical power is drained, so he cannot summon them again. Jin Woo sends Igris to fight the leader. Before the bear can attack, Igris swiftly cuts its legs, causing it to fall. As the bear tries to attack Jin Woo, Igris finishes it with his sword. Jin Woo thinks, if Igris hadn't thrown his sword then, I would have been the one lying there instead of the bear. Igris, you're truly powerful. Elsewhere, Kiso's entire team is killed by the elves. Kiso is unable to think of a plan. An elf brutally kills the last member of his team in front of him, causing Kiso to flee in fear. Here Jin Woo says his iconic word, arise, turning all the dead bears into shadows. Meanwhile, outside 3 hours had passed since the dungeon opened. This meant that inside the dungeon 3 days had already gone by. Dong-soo says, 3 days have passed inside the dungeon. I don't think Jin Woo could have survived. Saying this, he starts walking away, but suddenly stops thinking about something. He then says, wait, Jin Woo isn't even a member of the White Tiger Guild. So how did he enter the dungeon? The manager trying to handle the situation says, he's a friend of mine and wanted to see a C-rank dungeon, so I gave him permission to enter. Dong-soo smirks and says, oh, is that so? He then grabs the manager by the neck and says, did you think I'm an idiot who would believe your nonsense? Baek Yoon grabs Dong-soo's hand and says,
you're attacking a member of my guild right in front of me?
Dong-soo lets go and says, and now a guild master from some small country thinks he can order me around? Tension rises between the two as they start releasing their auras. The manager, feeling the pressure, steps back and says, if 2 S-rank hunters fight, this city will be destroyed. Both of them prepare their punches and throw them at each other. As the dust settles, we see that Woo Jin has stopped both of their punches at the same time. Seeing this, Dong-soo is impressed. Woo Jin says, if you guys hadn't held back your power, my arm would have broken. Woo Jin then says to Dong-soo, I don't know why you're suspicious, but I checked Jin Woo's rank 2 weeks ago. He was still just an E rank. and your brother was killed by a dungeon beast. I don't know why you're blaming Jin Woo. Dongsu smirks and says, "You still don't get it, do you? I just needed an excuse to kill him." At that moment, Dongsu receives a call and leaves. Inside the dungeon, Kiso manages to escape from the elves and reaches the place where Jin Woo had killed all the bears. Seeing the dead bears, Kiso is shocked and thinks, did those low rankers kill them? Doubting himself, he then thinks, no, it must have been those elves. With this thought, he runs away. While running, he stumbles upon Jin Woo's team. Seeing them laughing and enjoying themselves, Kiso completely loses it. Walking toward them in anger, he says, "You guys are having fun here while my team died because we ran out of food and gear, because you took everything." He suspects that Park abandoned his team because she knew about this. Furious, he shouts, "Tell me, how do you have all this stuff? Otherwise, be ready for the consequences." Just as he's about to attack them with his sword, Jin Woo suddenly appears and taps him on the head, sending him flying back. Jin Woo says, "You got your team killed and now you're trying to put us in trouble too?" Then sensing something, Jin Woo adds, "I can feel your presence." At that moment, the elves who were chasing Kiso arrive searching for humans. We also see their leader. The leader says, "Looks like not everyone here is a fool." Hearing this, Jin Woo is surprised because he can understand their language. He thinks it must be because of the system. The leader continues, "He said you're strong, and he wants to fight you." Before he can finish, Jin Woo instantly kills the elf and says, "You were saying?" Then he attacks the leader as well. However, the leader blocks Jin Woo's attack with his dagger. Jin Woo realizes that the elf leader is quite strong. The leader says, "You're not human. Then why are you with the humans?" Jin Woo doesn't understand what he means. The leader explains, "We constantly hear a voice telling us to kill humans. But with you, I hear nothing." Jin Woo thinks, "Is this something like my system?" The leader then says, "If you hand over the humans behind you, I'll let you live." Jin Woo asks, "Why do you even want to kill humans?" The leader is about to say something when he suddenly glitches and repeats, "If you hand over the humans, I'll let you live." Jin Woo doesn't understand what just happened but ignores it for now and rejects the leader's offer. The leader says, "You people can't fight us." Hearing this, Jin Woo simply smiles and summons his entire shadow army. Seeing the shadows, both armies clash. The studio has done an amazing job with the animation. Seeing the terrifying scene, the other hunters start running away. Some elves shoot arrows at them as they flee. But Jin Woo blocks the arrows with his bare hands and destroys them. Jin Woo thinks, "My MP is draining too fast. If this continues, I'll lose." Meanwhile, the elf leader slaughters multiple shadows and approaches Jin Woo, launching an attack. The leader says, "You're truly strong. My name is Baruka. What's yours?" Jin Woo, taking out his dagger in a very iconic way, says, "Sung Jin Woo." Both of them start fighting each other, but Baruka is overpowering Jin Woo. A single kick from Baruka sends Jin Woo flying. Jin Woo commands his shadow mages to attack Baruka with fireballs, which hit him directly. Meanwhile, Kiso regains consciousness and becomes enraged upon seeing Jin Woo. He rushes to attack him. On the other side, Baruka, unaffected by the fireballs, also advances toward Jin Woo. Baruka is about to attack Jin Woo when we see a new shadow emerge from the smoke. A flashback shows what happened moments earlier. When Kiso was rushing to attack Jin Woo summoned Igris and created a diversion with smoke. Baruka, unable to understand what was happening, was left confused. During this moment, Igris took down Kiso, and Jin Woo turned Kiso into a shadow. Since Kiso was an A-rank hunter, his shadow was exceptionally strong. The new shadow deflects Baruka's attack. Jin Woo names Kiso's shadow Iron. Iron uses his skill on Baruka, forcing Baruka to focus all his attacks on Iron instead of Jin Woo. Let me quickly explain Iron's skill to make it easier to understand. When Iron uses his skill, his opponent will be compelled to attack him first, as Baruka did by leaving Jin Woo and targeting Iron. Back to the story. Everyone is watching the fight from hiding. Hana asks, "Do hunters fight like this? How will I ever become a hunter?" The others reply, "We've never seen a fight like this either." Baruka says, "This soldier of yours won't defeat me. Why don't you two attack me together?" Hearing this, Jin Woo, Igris, and Iron all charge at Baruka. However, Baruka holds his ground against all three. Iron uses his skill again, forcing Baruka to focus on him. Seizing the opportunity, Jin Woo and Igris attack Baruka. Baruka dodges Igris's attack but fails to evade Jin Woo's. Stepping aside, Baruka says, "You won't defeat me with tricks like this." Jin Woo says, "You're strong, but your soldiers aren't." Baruka turns to see that the shadows have killed all his elves. Seeing this, Baruka says, "If I kill you, it won't take me long to kill them." Jin Woo throws his dagger at Baruka. Baruka thinks, "What an idiot," throwing his weapon. But Jin Woo had a different plan. Using his skill, he redirects the dagger mid-air toward Baruka. Baruka, in an attempt to block it, brings up his own dagger, which shatters upon impact. Iron grabs Baruka, and the mages attack him with fireballs. But despite all of this, Baruka remains unfazed. He tears Iron apart with his bare hands and yells in rage,
"I will kill all of you."
However, by then, Jin Woo had already stabbed Baruka in the stomach with his dagger. Even then, Baruka doesn't die and furiously shouts,
"I will kill you."
Just then, Iron is summoned again and smashes Baruka with his axe hammer, turning him into a pulp. Finally, Baruka is defeated. Jin Woo levels up and notices Iron is still smashing Baruka's remains. Jin Woo says, "What are you doing? Are you planning to make a meal out of him?" Iron looks at Igris, but Igris completely ignores him. The dungeon boss had been defeated, and the dungeon gate opens. Everyone is relieved, but Jin Woo has a different plan. Outside the dungeon, the manager says, "You can go ahead, I'll stay here." Baek Yoon says, "My guild members are still inside. How can I leave?" Suddenly the gate's color turns blue and people start coming out. Baek Yoon initially thinks it's Kiso, but it turns out to be Park and the C-rank hunter. Then Jin Woo and Hana emerge from the gate, and it closes behind them. Baek Yoon is confused, wondering why only low-rank hunters came out. Jin Woo tells Hana, "Come on, I'll drop you home," and starts leaving. Baek Yoon stops him and says, "I want to ask you something." Jin Woo replies, "I'm really tired. You should talk to your guild members." Baek Yoon gets angry and says,
"This isn't a request. 6 of our high-rank hunters didn't return. I want to know what happened inside the dungeon."
Jin Woo calmly says, "I saved 2 of your guild members. Shouldn't you thank me first?" Realizing his mistake, Baek Yoon apologizes to Jin Woo. After this, Jin Woo takes Hana and leaves. Baek Yoon asks Park, "Why was he so angry?" Park replies, "I don't know." His mood changed right after defeating the dungeon boss. Baek Yoon tells the manager, "No matter what, I want that guy in my guild." Meanwhile, Jin Woo drops Hana off at her house. Hana thanks him and calls him Jin Kun. Surprised by this, Jin Woo is momentarily taken aback. On his way home, Jin Woo reflects on why he's in a bad mood. It's because he couldn't extract Baruka's shadow and only got a dagger. After returning home, Jin Woo thinks, "This is the 3rd time I've killed a human.